Hey guys, Eternal Dragon here. I'm back again, and this time I'm working on my comp, and I bought some new parts for it because I'm going to be running a 6-core system now. So I decided to record the unboxing of the new parts. So this is my old system, and it's a dual-core Athlon 64. And this is my new system that just arrived. And this is basically the 1090T, or the 6-core PHENOM from AMD. And there's the chip right there. And I got the BioStar T-Series motherboard here, and I've got some G-Skill RAM. So this is 8 gigs of RAM, 2 sticks of 4 gigs per stick. And yeah, so let's start unboxing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick unbox here, because I don't want this video to be too large when I try to convert it. So you get, here, let me show you what you get in here. So you get the driver's CD. You get the manual, of course. You get a SATA power cable. You get some SATA cables. So 1, 2, 3 SATA cables in there for the motherboard, and or for your hard drives and your CD drives and your motherboard, of course. You get the back plate for the motherboard. And then, of course, under this paper thing here, we've got the motherboard. Now, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to open it up here. See if I can get it with my left hand. Alrighty, there we go. See if I can get it out. There we go. Alright, managed to do that all with one hand. Great. So this is the BioStar T-Series. I hope you can see this properly. As you can see, it's got a big heatsink on the, I believe, north bridge of the motherboard. It supports up to 16 gigs of DDR3 at an overclocked 1800 meg clock speed. It's got dual video card support for Crossfire only, so it does support Crossfire. I'm not sure if it supports SLI. I don't believe so, but I know some of the newer motherboards support both. This is a newer motherboard, but as far as I know, it only supports Crossfire. So, as you can see, there's another heat sink. We've got some heat sinks over here, and that's pretty much the motherboard. Okay, you've got about 3 SATA connectors. Here's the, actually, sorry, 5 SATA connectors. I just panned the camera up there and saw 2 more. Here's the interesting thing about this motherboard. It actually has a start and reset button right on the motherboard. So you could actually run this motherboard without a case, which you could do with other motherboards as well if you know how to do it with a screwdriver. But it was just interesting to see that they actually put a reset and a start button on the motherboard. If I turn the motherboard on its side, you can see a mouse port, you can see a keyboard port, there's an optical port, there is, well, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB ports. We've got a SATA port on the back, we've got a FireWire port, Ethernet, and 8-channel audio on the back. So pretty sweet motherboard. Alrighty, let me just pause the camera for 1 sec, and actually, no, I can't even pause the video, my bad. Hold on 1 sec, let me just put this down. So, that can go back in the box. I'm going to be assembling the computer right now anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Now this is G-Skill rip jaws. These are basically, as I said, 4 gigs, so for a total of 8 gigs, and they're running at 1,333 megahertz on the clock speed. Get the fucking RAM out here, let's see. I'll show you what they're like. Alright, they don't really make this easy to get out with one hand. There we go. Alright, so that's what the RAM looks like. Okay. And it's basically a heat sink or a heat spreader, as some people would call it, on the actual RAM stick. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty cool looking RAM. I like the colors. But more importantly is how it performs, and this is pretty decent RAM for performance-wise. Good timings, a lot of memory, and pretty fast, efficient, reliable. All the things you look for in RAM sticks. Alrighty, so moving along. And now we come to the big boy. And the big boy is this guy right here. Okay, so this guy is the AMD PHENOM 2, and it is the 6-core 1090T processor. This processor, I've been waiting to get this processor for quite some time, and if I have a knife, I will get it open. Where the hell? There we go. Alrighty. So, funny. Got a little box cutter, and be very careful when I'm opening this. It's very hard to hold the camera in your hand very steady and open the boxes, so bear with me here. Alrighty. If I can get the damn knife closed, there we go. Alrighty, so now I'll take out the heatsink and fan and the CPU. If I can get the damn box open, there we go. Okay, so this is the heatsink and fan. Okay, I know this is not what you guys want to see, but I gotta go through all the parts. So, as you can see, heatsink and fan. Heatsink has an aluminum base, but it also has a copper pipes and a copper conductor as well. So it's part aluminum, part copper. Pretty good conductor. I would prefer gold. I would prefer pure gold or silver, but copper and aluminum will work just fine. Unless you're overclocking the CPU, then I suggest that you get a more efficient heatsink and fan, or maybe some water coolant, or whatever you prefer basically, but I do recommend that you get something a lot more powerful than the stock cooler and a lot more efficient at cooling your CPU. And here we go, the big unveil. This is the 1090T 6-core processor operating at 3.2 gig at a 3.2 gig clock speed. Beautiful, beautiful processor. I've been waiting to get this thing for quite some time, and here it is. And as you can see, the sticker for it on top. And now I'm going to build the system and see how this baby runs with Windows 7 Ultimate. So there we go. Probably make a video and probably benchmark it at stock clock speeds, and then maybe I'll get a different cooler or a better cooler, and I might overclock the system. I'll think about it. Alrighty. So there you go, guys. The unboxing of everything, and yeah. Alrighty, until next time, take